Hello, folks. Welcome back to FFR Frank Reviews. What a Thanksgiving! I've had some problems over the year, some emotional struggles, and so on and so forth. And in case you haven't noticed, my cast is now off. I took the bandage off, and my finger is feeling a lot better too. I mean, look at that. See it? Pretty fucking nasty. You should have seen a couple of weeks ago when I actually got cut open with a fucking hedge clipper. Yeah. Thank God I was wearing thick gloves. Yep. But does it say a lot that I've actually had a worse injury on this exact finger years ago? Yes, it does. About 20 years ago, I almost lost this finger in a incident in landscaping, amongst all things. That might explain why I switched my major from landscaping to arts and graphic design. Well, all that being said, that's a story for a whole another day. Today, we're going to talk about an anthology film that, well, has a good idea. Unfortunately, there's a shitload of holidays missing from it, though. Like, a lot of holidays. Yeah, not just American holidays, even though this movie was distributed in the United States and it was also distributed in Europe. And it kept the main holidays, but it took away all the other ones, which doesn't make any sense. And some people were kind of annoyed about that because there actually have been decent horror stories actually made during those holidays. Anyway, today's movie is a horror anthology film, Holidays. Please enjoy. Before I go any further, I have to be honest. I'm going to do this segment by segment by segment. All right, there's going to be at least a total of 8 segments right now, including this one, and a final segment, which I would judge the verdict on the whole thing. Now, there's a total of 8 holidays, so 8 stories in this whole thing. The stories are as follows, and this is all of them in order. We have Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Halloween, Christmas, and New Year's. And there's a shitload more holidays that should have been added to this. I mean, come on, really? You didn't put Thanksgiving in this thing? This is this is an American film. Why not put an American holiday in there? I mean, what about I don't know. What about Memorial Day or what else? Labor Day, huh? Patriots Day, or where you? Independence Day. What about that one? Huh? I mean, really? Also, there's one thing that really bothers me about this movie. I mean, even though this is actually an anthology film series that actually has nothing but these 8 stories, all of them, like so, you know what really bothers me? The cover. What is up with the cover? Okay, as an artist, as an artist myself, I have a huge problem I have to address with this cover. Okay, and yeah, I don't know what how. Okay, looking at this cover, you think it's going to be a slasher film, but it's not. It's an anthology film series. It's an anthology film. What the fuck? I mean, look at this costume that the guy on the cover has. I mean, look at that. It is a Santa Claus costume straight from the Silent Night, Deadly Night film series. He has, well, looks like it's a bloody axe. He has a jack-o'-lantern. The suit's all dirty, and, oh, what's this? He's wearing an Easter Bunny mask. What the fuck? I mean, what? What the fuck? Okay, look, all joking aside, this makes it look like it's a slasher film with a killer that actually kills people on holidays. Whoa, that sounds like a way better film. What the fuck? You know what? Fuck it. Let's just get on with the movie. Let's just get on with the review because I could just vent my frustrations a little bit later. Let's just get this over with, shall we? So the first story is Valentine's Day, and this one is kind of a creepy one, just a little bit. I mean, you ever heard about those stories about with like those type of girls who are just socially awkward and have just what we call the teacher crush. Yeah, like the students actually have a crush on their teacher, whether it's a boy or a girl. But with a girl, it can be a lot more creepier than with some boys. I mean, with boys, most of the time it's usually just they have sex on the mind. I mean, come on, I mean, look at me. I'm a guy. I've known guys. I've actually known students back in the day who actually had those type of fantasies. All right, like I said, I was one of them. But still, what guy hasn't had a fantasy about having a sexual fantasy with his teacher? Huh. Yeah, it happened. Yeah, it's a phase we all go through. But with this one, it's actually a girl who's emotionally in love with her gym teacher. Now, here's the tidbit of the story. She's a bullied, misunderstood girl who is constantly bullied by all the popular girls at the school, and her gym teacher, on the other hand, is best way to put this is actually he has a bad heart condition, and of course, he's been trying to encourage the others to stop actually bullying her, but that doesn't usually go so well. And there's even a segment during the swim class that she almost actually drowns because of another student because the main bully pushed her into the pool, and the teacher actually pulls her out and gives her CPR. And no, why do I get the feeling that this was actually that she was a boy? She would have had a boner at that point. Oh, just saying. But either way, you can clearly tell she has a thing for the teacher. All right, and she's just emotionally awkward. So either way, nobody acts. And since it's also Valentine's Day, yeah, he needs a heart transplant, and well, it's Valentine's Day, and his wife is kind of a bitch to him. So yeah, all the girls still tease and make fun of the girl, and she just gives the main bully just a weird, dark, creepy look to her to tell him to fuck off. Yeah, it's more like if you don't fuck off, I'm gonna kill you. Yeah. Huh. Anyway, the teacher actually felt sorry for the girl, and he sees that she does actually like him, and in a sense, he kind of likes her too because she's always a nice person and just misunderstood. So he actually gives her the only Valentine gift that anybody would ever give her: a box of chocolates and a heart that says, and a little love note that tells her to never give up. You know what? I'm not gonna lie, I hate Valentine's Day a lot. All right, because I hate it. Or even as a kid growing up, I always hated it. So, or I mean, because the fact it's around the time of the year where if I was with a girl, as I had a girlfriend or something, she would always like brag. She would always like give me shit all the time if I didn't do anything good or something. Most of you guys already know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, but me personally, as time went on, when I got into high school, I couldn't fucking stand Valentine's Day. No. In fact, nowadays, when I think about Valentine's Day, I just think of the Valentine's Day Massacre from the Scarface film, the original one from the 1930s, based on the true event that Al Capone's men did many years ago. Yeah. So when it's Valentine's Day for me, I just watch a gangster film. Yeah, that's my Valentine's Day tradition. Fuck this lovey-dovey shit. So to be fair, the girl actually misinterprets what that message was, and decides to go after the main bully. She actually chases her around and well, brutally murders her. She stabs her and, well, brutally murders her by cutting out her heart. The segment actually ends with the teacher is actually arguing with his wife. There's a doorbell because of the fact that it's Valentine's Day and his wife's being a complete bitch. No surprise there. Anyway, how do I put this? Oh boy. The girl actually comes to the guy's house with a actual human heart in her hands, and she's giving this crazy smile. You see the smile right here she has? Yeah. Yeah. You see that smile? Yeah. That smile. That's all she's giving him. It's like, yeah, she literally gave him a physical heart to transplant with. Okay, on the grand scheme of things, that's the first story, and that's where the story just ends right there on the spot. And Okay, it's actually not that bad. As much as I hate the holiday itself, this idea of a misunderstood girl who goes on a killing spree to actually find a heart, goes after her bullies, and goes and gives the love of her life, who happens to be her teacher, an actual physical heart to transplant with. Yeah, I can see this has got some decent horror vibes to it, though. It's got a good horror vibe to it, though. It's just not fully utilized properly. So I'll give this one. So if I was going to grade this movie, I would give it a B, like a literal B plus, because it's trying and it actually has a lot of good intentions. Not fully well executed, but there's something there that can actually be work. That can actually work. So that's Valentine's Day. This next one's a bit of a weird one. Right, St. Patrick's Day is sort of a weird one, and I think fully you have to be fully aware about the holiday itself, about St. Patrick's Day, how St. Patrick actually freed Ireland from all the snakes that lived on it. So yeah, this movie is actually about a school teacher that's in Ireland, and it basically just has her and a little creepy girl, namely this little creepy girl right here, this little cutie pie right here. Yeah, she's a creep. Where she basically just haunts the teacher the entire time, and this teacher has been trying so hard to get pregnant. Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. And like I said, it's a really weird one. Okay, I mean, I couldn't understand it, and well, I just thought it was just like a fucking drugged up fever dream, in my opinion. That's just me particularly talking about it. But anyway, the whole thing is just her going through an in-depth pregnancy. But the thing is, the thing is, the doctors are surely thinking that she's actually impregnated by a snake. Yeah. How the hell did that even happen? A snake? Really? Ugh. This isn't like D&D where you actually can play as a lizard character where you actually impregnate a human woman, which is weird to know that humans and lizard folk are actually compatible sex wise, and they can actually have kids. I don't know the genetics on that one, and I'm pretty sure there's like a whole different video on that whole subject. So whatever. But anyway, the whole movie is just a psychological thriller with this woman is going through going physical changes, and she sees the girl everywhere she goes. She even like slaps her several times, and again, like nothing much happens. She eventually quits her teaching job and just goes mentally insane, and at some point starts to drown herself in her own tub. Until the little girl takes her to a little magical land where she gives birth to the baby, and it's a cute face baby snake. And we see the guy who impregnated her actually has something to do with like the whole St. Patrick's Day facade. All right, I don't know who the guy is. I think it's supposedly some name Danny Boy or something. Like, I don't know. I really had a hard time trying to sit through this one. This one was just really weird to me. All right, it's just a cycle. It's a weird psychological thriller. If you're really into the whole St. Patrick's Day folklore thing, then give this one a watch. But otherwise, I have to give it this. If I was to grade this film particularly, I would give this one a C minus because I had no idea what the fuck was going on. I mean, seriously, what in the hell was that? Honestly, ugh. So that was the St. Patrick's Day portion. It's a weird one, and I wouldn't fully recommend it, but if you're into some really weird shit, watch it. That's all I got. This next one is kind of fucked up. Oh, good boy, this one's pretty fucked up. This one is basically Easter is actually about a little girl who's actually afraid about the Easter Bunny. And I have no idea how the Easter Bunny folklore actually works or something, but this one is just generally pretty fucking weird too. But it actually has some decent horror vibes to it though. And It's just, in my opinion, kind of fucked up. This girl actually just thinks she sees the Easter Bunny, and her mother tells her not to look for the Easter Bunny. Okay, just let him hide his eggs or something. That's about it. But the girl basically wakes up in the middle of the night and she finds the Easter Bunny, which is actually a human being with an Easter head, with an Easter Bunny head, like an actual humanoid head, rabbit hybrid head. And he has the same outfit that Jesus was wearing when he was crucified. You know that towel-like outfit he was wearing around his waist? Yeah, it's the same outfit. It's like, are we to assume this is actually Jesus Christ as a fucking rabbit? This, I know it's weird knowing that. Okay, it's weird to know that on Easter Sun, that Good Friday is the day that Jesus actually was crucified, and he rose 2 days later on Easter Sunday. Okay, the day he had risen. All right, that's basically the folklore tale on Easter. But with the whole thing with the rabbits and everything, how did this whole thing goes from Jesus being crucified and being resurrected to chocolate bunny and until fluffy bunnies and chocolate eggs? Where the fuck did that come from? All right, I mean, Jesus, even Robert Williams actually made fun of this whole thing on one of his live shows years ago. Hey. The funny thing is, I think South Park was actually made a close reference to this thing that made more sense. That with South Park, they said one of the followers was actually a rabbit. Saint Peter was actually Peter Rabbit. That makes sense to me. Yeah, when South Park actually makes more sense to this than anybody else can. God, that's saying something. I was baptized and raised as a Roman Catholic up until I stopped going to Sunday school when I was a little bit older. But then again, that was like years ago. So I pretty much forgot most of the mythology stuff. I pretty much forgot most of my Sunday school teachings at this point. So anyway, the girl. So basically, the rabbit guy actually. So Bunny Man. Yeah, that was a weird one. Basically, gives a little piece of him to the girl. She eats it, and she turns in shadow format. We see her turn into a human bunny hybrid, and she disappears. The girl's mother looks for her, and she's gone because she is now the next the bunny human. To continue on this tradition until somebody finds her. What the fuck did I just watch? Seriously, that's Easter for you. What can I grade this one? Just a C. A C, because it's just confusing to me. All right. Uh, the St. Patrick's Day one, I put that one at a C minus, but this one bumped up a little bit though because it actually had some decent horror vibes to it though. But the human bunny hybrid thing was a little bit more fucked up, and the girl turning into a bunny at the end, more fucked up than I realized. So C plus, I guess. That's Easter for you. Mother's Day. Great. Let's just move on. Okay, I can't really. Okay, I can't do that. Okay, here's the gist on this one. This one's actually about a woman who keeps getting pregnant no matter how many times she has sex with somebody. Yeah, each time she has sex with somebody, she gets pregnant. And here's the fucked up part. All right, the guy is actually wearing a full condom and everything on his junk, and she still gets pregnant. And it's not like there's a hole in the condom or anything. No, it just happens. God, there was even like her boyfriend even explained to the doctor at one point. She actually made him wear 10 condoms at the same time, but while they had sex, and she still got pregnant. What? So the whole movie is basically just her going through her entire pregnancy thing. But uh, honestly, I really didn't give a shit about this one. This felt more like a remake of Rosemary's Baby, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm giving this one a much lower grade than the St. Patrick's Day film because at least this one, well, St. Patrick's Day, it was trying to do something, but this one was just a straight ripoff of fucking Rosemary's Baby. It makes no fucking sense in my opinion, so that's why I'm giving it a lower grade. Ugh. the whole movie she basically moves into a convent and where she has a bunch of women trying to help her out and stuff, get her through her pregnancy. Oh my god! Look, I am trying on this. This one, I really did not like this one the most. That's why it's got the lower grade. Just yeah. So in a sense, she's basically going through all the horror tropes of like being the upcoming mother, and she may be giving birth to a demon. But at the end, she gives birth to a fully grown person, and it just cuts to the next segment. So yeah, Mother's Day, just skip over it. It's a ripoff of Rosemary's Baby. So you know what? Fuck it. Next, Father's Day. The next one is called Father's Day. I must admit, I really wasn't expecting this one to be that good, but it's pretty interesting. What it is actually a girl following her father's footsteps after he passed away. So, a girl recently just lost her father many years, some time ago, and her father left a series of quests and challenges for her to go through on a video cassette, no, not a video cassette, but an audio cassette series, and you can hear her voice as a child in the background as she's trying to complete the quest. Ah, very interesting. I see what you're going to go there. So the whole video segment is just her going through all the quests, and the journey just gets a bit darker and darker as the quest goes on further, and she basically it's like she crosses into another dimension at some point. And by the time she finds her father, she finds a demon-like figure that actually was her father and just drags her to hell. Or I'm assuming that's probably what hell was. But either way, it ends on a pretty much a decently good note, and the build-up and the suspense and the journey that she goes through is really surprisingly good. Unlike Mother's Day, which was complete crap, this one actually had some good qualities to it though. I was really quite surprised by it though. So surprisingly, I'm just gonna say that Father's Day. What would I give it? Well, considering the fact it actually has some confusing portions, but if it was actually I could see this actually working as another movie with a girl trying. I can see this actually working as a full-fledged movie with a lot of suspenseful moments and stuff, and it just drags on for a while. But in a good type of way that keeps you emotionally invested. And at the end, it was a horrific payoff. So, in my opinion, I'm just gonna say Father's Day. Yeah, if I went to Great Father's Day, B plus. Yeah, good one, Father's Day. That's actually a good one. Halloween. Yeah, it just got straight to Halloween. Yeah, okay, you skipped over Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Patriots Day. Yeah, I hated this segment, all right? And one of the worst part of what the segment was, it was directed by Kevin Smith. Yeah, Silent Bob himself directed it. And wait a minute, who's this girl right here? Yeah, this girl right here at the end. Is that Kevin Smith's daughter, Harley Quinn Smith? Yes, it is. Oh, good God. I'm not. I have nothing against her. She's actually got some talent. She's really good, and she's up and coming. All right, as an actress. But here's the thing: this movie sucked. Yeah, this short film sucked. I'm sorry, Kevin Smith. I liked you in the Jay and Silent Bob films. Harley, I know you're trying. I know you're really trying, but this one, it just sucked in my opinion. Okay, the whole segment is about a douchebag guy who runs a cam girl website. Yeah, you know, like stuff like you go to like I don't know, say like all right, let's use Pornhub for example. All right, that's a popular porn website, right? Okay, there's supposedly every porn site has a live segment where you actually get to interact with what we call cam girls. All right, they do a bunch of like freaky stuff for you, and like I'm talking about like sexually freaky stuff for you. Okay, if you pay them like a decent like a portion of like of shit, like coins and stuff. So yeah, this guy runs this dirty bastard actually runs a cam girl website. Harley Quinn and these other two girls that are actually with her here are actually the cam girls that are on this thing. Yeah, and at some point the girls he pisses them off to the point where they actually knock him out, lock him in the room completely, and they have him physically torture himself by doing bodily harm to him. What I mean is he does a lot of self afflicting damage, like self afflicting bodily harm. Like, I think it's supposed to be like a really graphic situation, but in the end, it just feels kind of stupid. Like, the thing is, they basically he threatens them a lot though. So this time around, the girls actually they set up a little cam thing where they're actually watching him doing all this stuff though, and they actually tell him what to do. It's like, oh, okay. It's because of the fact that he's actually done this to them before too. When they're actually doing a live show, when one of the girls are doing a live show, he's actually amongst the audience, actually telling them what they should do, and it's actually really freaky sexual shit. What the girls do here, they tell him to cut his thingy, his dingaling off, and then he has a vibrator for the girls, thing. Yeah. So what they do, they tell him once he cuts it off to shove it up in there, and they control the vibration volume. So much to the point they actually cranked all the volume all the way up, but we don't see what happens. So we see their facial expressions like, why don't we turn the volume all the way up? That's what happens. So apparently they killed him off screen. They kill him. Anyway, a new girl shows up that actually got scammed like they did, but they tell her to go home in a sense. They give her some money. I'm not too sure if they give her some money or anything, but they're actually running the website themselves now. And that's how the Halloween segment ends. Honestly, this is like one of the dumbest ones I've ever seen. It was so stupid, and it had nothing to do with the holiday whatsoever. It just takes place on Halloween. I'm like, really? I mean, you could say like, oh, I don't know, they were witches or something. That would have been a much more delicate twist. Or they maybe one of them was a vampire, the other one was a werewolf or something. Hello, I mean, that would have been better. Ugh. So, the Great Halloween, F minus. Christmas. Straight from Halloween to Christmas. Gee, like we do in reality here. You gotta skip over Thanksgiving, yeah. Honk, honk. Ugh. Come on, there's like plenty of horror stories that take place during Thanksgiving. There's even a slasher film that was made recently about Thanksgiving, even though it was a grindhouse joke that was actually in between Planet Terror and Death Proof that Eli Roth made like long ago. And it's nice to know that 13 years later they got the film off the ground. But no, we gotta go straight into Christmas. Oh, Christ. This one is all kinds. This one is, again, pretty damn stupid. There's some good ideas to it, though, but in the end, it's more or less comedic. It's like horror comedy, but compared to the other film, the other short films. The other ones actually had some decent horror and some suspense vibes. This one has more comedy elements to it. It's like, what the fuck is this? There's actually the whole thing revolves around Seth Green's character, who actually is trying to get a VR set. So, yeah, a VR set for his family that his whole family can enjoy. But the thing is, he actually missed out on the last one, and a customer who actually bought the last one actually winds up getting madly hurt in the parking lot. Rather than help the guy, he just takes the VR set and watches the guy die. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. But what's really fucked up is that the VR set actually shows them the past life of some of the people who bought the thing to the people and showing their deepest desires too, like your deepest desires. This is a weird segment. It goes from horror to comedy and like back and forth, back and forth. It's like, what the fuck am I watching here? I'll put it this way: it's like if you watch like maybe the Three Stooges and it cuts to Friday the 13th real quick, and then back to the Three Stooges again. It's like, what just happened? Yeah, that's it's that kind of weird. It pretty much it's like an open-ended ending where we get to see that his wife actually has some really dark thoughts. She may actually seductively seduce her boss to the point where she may actually murder him. Other than that, that's how the whole thing ended. So Christmas, yeah, this one wasn't that good either. Like Halloween, I'm gonna give this one the greatest one. I'm giving it an F minus because this one made no fucking sense at all. Last holiday, New Year's Eve. This one was actually kind of a decent surprise. This one's actually about a murderer, a psychotic murderer, a serial killer who just goes. He starts off his day by murdering a random woman. Yeah, and he goes on like dating sites, to actually try to lure women or to woo women and then brutally murder them with his pistol or something. Yeah, he basically tortures them and then murders them with his pistol. It's a pretty dark segment, but I know what you're thinking. That sounds pretty damn stupid. But trust me, it gets a little bit better. I was quite surprised how this one ended up. So he actually meets up with a girl on New Year's Eve. They have a New Year's Eve date, and it looks like they're gonna be, getting jiggy with it. So, yeah, I know. I said getting jiggy with it. Hey, I grew up in the '90s. Give me a fucking break, all right? But they don't get jiggy with it. In fact, the guy goes inside to freshen up and said, "Our killer our character, the male, our male serial killer, the the Mister." He goes in there and he's like, "Okay, get my gun out. Okay, get the chemicals out. Gonna have some nice torturous fun." And what's it smelling here? Oh, I should got to flush something in the toilet. Oh well. Let's see what she's got here. There's actually teeth and eyeballs to some people. And he goes to the tub. There's a dead body in there. It's like, wait a minute. What the hell just happened? Well, guess what, buddy? You hit the jackpot. She's a serial killer too. Plot twist. Yeah, so she's a serial killer too. So the entire final segment of the whole short is actually them trying to kill each other. Oh, sweet Jesus! This is actually a good plot twist. Yeah. Anyway, he gets off a couple of rounds on her. She actually cuts him up pretty badly too. But he actually, but as the fight ends, she's just as crazy as he is. So with a fire axe, she's about to land a death blow. He has the gun on. He has his revolver to her, which is a snub nose revolver, and the gun's empty. Axe to the face. Happy New Year! The short ends right there on the spot that she's actually just as crazy as he is. And yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna lie. I really thought this one was actually just gonna be a guy who goes around killing people. The whole idea of maybe the murder of a serial killer just goes around, like murdering women during on date nights and shit. That's pretty standard and scary. So it actually had some decent scary relevance to it, though. But the idea now this is actually kind of true when you think about it, though. The idea that okay, the girl herself was also a serial killer, and they went on a date and they decided to date each other. Holy fuck! Who didn't see that coming? I sure as hell didn't. When I saw that, that was a really nice surprise. So yeah, great way to end. Great way to go on a high note. So I'm gonna give this one an A plus. Yeah, I'm not joking about it. Amongst all the films, amongst all these little short films, yeah, this one gets an A plus in my opinion. This is actually a pretty good one. So yeah, good one. A nice short story, wrapped it up real nicely, and that was New Year's Eve. Personal verdict: would I recommend anybody to watch this movie? If you're into horror anthology films, you might actually enjoy the novelty of it, though. And the idea of actually horrible, scary things that actually happen during the holidays. Okay, first off, we actually have scary stories on YouTube, and of course, we have scary stories animated on YouTube, which I do watch on occasion. Even when I was working at my college, I actually watched, while I was on the computer, I actually watched these things during break time because they were actually good stories. Yeah. My fit. Oh, my favorite one was actually that of the bodybuilder who was working at the Circle K, and got involved in some drug and a couple of crazy drug addict ones, and this drug addict was actually going to his house and actually about to kill him, and he winds up beating the shit out of him in the end. Yeah, don't fuck with bodybuilders, man. Don't fuck with bodybuilders. True story, by the way. Oh, there's even another one there's actually even another one where this guy actually remembers that his where his mom was actually almost when he and his mother were actually killed by a psychopath when they were actually they were home alone in their house. And the mother didn't realize her brother was upstairs listening to music on his headphones, and he's a jacked up bodybuilder. So what happens to the psychopath? He got the shit beat out of him. True story. I swear to God, true story. It was scary, but the end result, the guy kind of dragged the bodybuilder off it, and the guy was almost had his skull caved in. Wow. Way to go, Jack. Broke into the wrong fucking house. Okay. No. But the idea of actually of horrific things actually happening during the holiday seasons, it's not that uncommon. All right, it's actually happened before on several occasions. I mean, yeah, we've actually had some bad things happen before. I mean, something really bad happened to me and my family on a holiday. I'm not going to say what it was because that's actually kind of personal to me. But other than that, this anthology film series, if I was going to give it a rating, I'd give it a C at best because good intentions, most of them not executed well. Good ideas, not fully fleshed out, but some good ideas. But also covered in shit stories. So on some of them. So. However, okay, I kind of snapped a little bit earlier in the video when I said that this idea of the cover itself actually seems like a better horror film right there on the spot. I mean, just look at this. All right, the idea of okay, just imagine this: we have this character right here dressed in these certain holiday traditions. I mean, we have a Santa Claus outfit, carrying around a jack o' lantern, wearing a bunny mask, and he has a big ass fire axe. Yeah, okay. Well, let's exchange that. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's make sure that he's wearing like green pants or something, and has an Irish belt buckle in the end, or something around that nature, or maybe a little funny, or maybe a little Irish hat, and he has a heart, or he has a heart jacket, and he has a heart embedded on the jacket here. I mean, we can call this guy the Holiday Killer. Yeah, and the whole thing could just be him murdering people, slashing people up, cutting them up on certain holidays, and the killings would actually be in themed with the holidays. So sounds like a better film, am I right? So for the love of God, can somebody make a better film? Call it holidays. But this time around, just make it a slasher film about a serial killer who kills people dressed in this outfit and kills people on the holidays. Why could we have that? I mean, come on. From the late 90s to the 2000s, my high school life, I pretty much watched slasher films a lot. And you know what? I could have made a better movie with this character. Late, other shame. We could have had a really good horror film at the start of a franchise, but no. In the end, anthology series. So, fuck it. Well, that's it for me. I'm gonna pop on my PS4 or pop on my N64 and just play some hockey games for a while. Why? Why the fuck not? Because I need to take a break for a while. Joel's gonna come up with some new videos later this month, and of course, Rex is back. Okay, yeah, he did like one video last night. Yeah, he did a video the other day where he actually played as a beta lizard man we're working on. and it's still a work in progress. But hey, so far we got the fighting style down right. Anyway, this is Ferox Frank for Ferox Frank Reviews, signing out. Hope you all take care. I'll see you all next time.